Hey, Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. And last week we did this fun little tag. Let me grab it. And we're going to use the same stamp set. I should have had this together and out. But this is the tag we made, and we did a little fun background or backing to the tag. I just love this. And I just love this Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamp set. I just think it's so fun and festive. And this is the card we're going to make today. Oops, sorry for that glare. We use this for the tag, and we're going to use this little snowman here. And I've got him juggling snowballs. There's tons of shine on this card. You just can't see it on the camera. Let me see if I can hold this up here. It's just the lighting's just washing it out and not capturing it. But what I absolutely love, I love Tim Holtz stuff, second to Gina K. And when I discovered that he partnered with Simon Says Stamp for dies that coordinate with the stamp sets, I was all over that and picked up at least 6, possibly 7 different dies for sets that I have. So in addition to this stamp set, I am also from Gina K Designs. The snowballs, I don't know if you can tell, they're not quite, they're round, but their edges aren't completely smooth. And if you do not have this set, it's called Graphic Tree. There's a die that coordinates with this circle right here that gives you that funky edge, which I love. And if you, this is, I believe, retired. And if you don't have that, I know Gina has several others that have circles, and I just don't have them handy. I will try to list a few of those for alternatives. So circle dies, I'm going to make myself a note. And then my favorite master layout, and I'll put the dimensions up should you not have those. And I'm going to pause you for just a second because I just noticed something on my over screen, or my screen here. There, my little thing up here at the top. It was not there, but I will have on screen the dimensions for the master layouts, these 2 large rectangles, if you do not have this in your collection. And then from master layout 16, I'm going to use one of these, and I think it's the middle one, to cut cardstock to give me this snowbank look. If you can freehand that, great. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Nope, you can't see it, but I can definitely see it. Oh, my computer was doing an update on something, and I'm like, no, don't do that. So sorry. And then the Merry Christmas is from the Oh Christmas Tree. It's this Merry Christmas right here. And the die cut I pulled from Master Layout 19, and it's the 3rd. So there's 4 different, what I'm going to call sentiment dies, and it's the 3rd largest one. So let me clear all this away, scoot you out just a little bit because I just noticed you're really far in as well, and figure out, while I have you paused, what my computer was doing. That was just really odd. So I'll be back in just a second. So the cardstock I'm using today is from Neenah. I buy this from Neenah Classic. No, I buy this from Cut Cardstock. And all the die cuts for the sentiment and the snowman, and even these snowballs, I cut from 110-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. Then there's a matting on here, which is silver. And this is also from Cut Cardstock, and it's the Stardream Metallic, and it's the silver 105-pound. I wish I had this in 74-pound, just because it's Christmas cards, and I want to make sure I don't add too much weight since the post office keeps raising postage on us. And the snow here, it's Pluto 74-pound Stardream metallic. And I don't know, I think you can see the shine right there. For some reason, you can't see it on this card, but right there, my studio lights are catching that. It's really brilliant. And if I'd been thinking about it, I would have cut the snowballs out of that same cardstock, but instead I did 110-pound and put a bunch in my spray box and this Imagine Sheer Shimmer spray. I don't know if this is available anymore, but I still have, as you can see, I still have at least a half a bottle of that. I wanted to use it up. And then the card back, and then the base of the card is from Gina K Designs, and it's her in the navy. So I've got two panels here that are 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to score those in a minute. And then I have two panels that I'm going to go ahead and cut right now with Master Layout 1. And let me see if I can find that. Master Layout 1. I'm going to cut that with the smaller of the two squares. Am I going to do that yet? No, I'm not. I'm not. We're going to do that in a little bit. So I'm just going to lay that up there. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me hide that for just a moment. Put all of this aside, and I've already got my sentiment already lined up. And we're going to go ahead and stamp those out. This is my favorite way of getting sentiments or just die cuts stamped correctly or semi-straight. I used to, when I was first starting out, I started out stamping in 1996, and I have stamped on and off. And when you first started out in 1996, you had wood blocks and had to line stuff up. Fingernails aren't long enough to pull that out of there. And I have the negative of this die cut, and this is 1/2-inch minty tape from scrapbook.com. You can use it, pixie tape, masking magic, any kind of washi tape, any kind of low tack tape. I like to, and I'll demonstrate it for the snowman. Oh, that was too much ink there on that S. I don't want that to mess up that sentiment. But I will show you on the snowman how I like to secure my die cuts into that negative space. And this is Memento Tuxedo Black. And I had an extra one just in case if I mess this up, which I did not. So I'm going to go ahead, rinse that off, put this away, and we'll get this card backing. Then we'll do the snowman. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my trimmer and I've got my A2 size cardstock, and I'm going to cut this down to 3 1/4. And I don't believe I need that any longer, but let me bring in, I have a Big Shot Express, which they don't make anymore. And I am going to take that die from Master Layout 16, and I'm going to make Snowbank. And my magnetic plate is working against me. I love Gina's magnetic plate because the whole thing is magnetic. This has got magnets around, so sometimes you have your dies jump like that. So let me cut this. I'll be right back. Okay, I have it all done. I'm going to pull this off. Put my minty tape off to the side so I can use that again. And I have two snow banks. Let me move that out of the way. And I'm going to put this die back into Master Layout 16's pocket. So the day I'm recording this is the day Gina did her Master Layout 21 video. I'm so upset I missed it. So I'm going to have to catch that on a replay. And I'm just using Gina's tape runner. And I'm getting tape along the edge as close as I can get it. And then I'm going to fill in all the areas because we're going to cut this. And I want to make sure that this stays adhered. And I'm just going to eyeball and put that on the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I know I'm using a lot of tape, but like I said, we're going to cut this with Master Layout 1, the smaller of the two largest rectangles. And if these don't line up at the edge, I don't care. We're going to cut it off. So let me get my cutting platform again and put that at a slight angle. Then I want to decide how much of that snowbank. I think I'm going to do less snowbank. See how that goes. I'm going to cut these two panels and I'll be right back. So I cut one and I was getting ready to cut the second one. And I thought, you know, if you don't have Master Layouts 1, I'm going to show you how to do this with a trimmer. So this one needs to be the smaller of the two. So the width will end up with 3 3/4 and then by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut just a little bit off the bottom just to even that up. And then I'm going to flip it around. And let's make that at 5. And that the Stardream cardstock, it's 74 pounds, so it's easy to cut through 2 pieces. And then we're going to line this up, and I'm just going to shave off a little bit from that side, and then I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to line this up at 3 3/4. And there we are. Let me grab my silver panels, and this should, voila, evenly line up. So let me clear this up. Let's stamp and color our snowman, and we can assemble this card. This is actually a really, really fast card. So save this idea for when you're in the 11th hour and you need fast cards, because this one is it. And before I stamp out that snowman, let's go ahead and get the bases. Oh, my scoreboard, it walked away on me. So I'm just going to take my card bases. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. You want to do this on the top or a tent fold. Just cut your 8 1/2 lengthwise so that it's 4 1/4 by 11, and then score at 5 1/2. I have traditionally made the book style rather than the tent. So I really enjoy making cards that open like a book, like I said. So, and I'm just using the score tool to help me line up that bottom. And then I'm using my, it's not bone, it's plastic or poly, to help me burnish that edge down so that it lays semi-flat. And I'm just going to grab my glue, my other silver panel. Let's go ahead and get these together and affix to the front of this card. Whoops. There we are. I had that panel. So when you die cut, there's always a little the edges just look finished because it's with the cutting edge and the die, it pushes the edge of the cardstock down, and to me that just looks like a really finished edge. Not that cutting it with a trimmer is bad. It just, cutting with a die gives you a little bit of a different look. And I should have shaved off some of that. I have some cardstock, so my die, you see how I'm pulling some card slivers off of there? I usually take a nail file, and it's too late now to show it to you, but I take a nail file and I file the edges just to clean up those edges. So I'm just going to glue these to the front of these card bases. And if you don't have like the Stardream, the sparkly, you can make it if you've got shimmer spray, or just use flat out white cardstock. You definitely use what you have if you don't have the silvery sparkly or the white sparkly cardstock. I love the Stardream, and I have quite a bit of it in my stash. Okay, those things are done. So let's get the snowman stamped. He's really fun and easy to do. So I just need a piece of scrap cardstock. And let me grab my frog tape, which is a lower tack, they call it a delicate surface painter's tape. I like to use it, excuse me, because it will not tear your cardstock. And then I've got a negative piece of cutting out my snowman. And then I'm just going to take my 1/2 inch minty tape, use washi tape, use pixie tape, whatever you have at hand, go ahead and use. I've used minty tape forever. And then we're going to grab our snowman, plop him down right there. I forgot how much fun using red rubber. When red rubber was all the way, it was all that you had. And then you started using the photopolymer when that became all the rage, which I do love. But going back and using red rubber after I've used photopolymer forever, it's a treat. I just think it gives super nice impressions. Not that the photopolymer doesn't. It's just, it's a different stamping. It just feels different. So I'm just trying to line this guy up to give me the best alignment. Oop. Secure him down here. And then I'm going to put in one die cut. And my Memento Tuxedo Black is a little bit on the dry side. So when I was stamping him out the first time to do the sample cards, this took 3 stamp impressions to make it not look vintagey, if that makes sense. And we're just going to go pop him up. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love these little guys. They're so cute. I should draw a little smiley face on one of them just to see what happens. So I'm going to do 3 of these just in case if I mess up the one I draw a smiley face on. Because this is supposed to be a whimsical Christmas card. You know, he's juggling snowballs. So why not put a smile on his face? Perfect. So I'm going to pause you. I'm going to do the 3rd one. That way you don't have to sit here and watch me stamp snowmen. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's clean this guy up. And I'm using Gina's stamp cleaner. I just think it really cleans up the red rubber very nicely. And then it conditions it as well. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of water to take any residue off. And we can put this guy away. I love this guy. He's just so darn cute. And I'm done with this. And let me grab Micron archival ink pen. Let's put a smile on this dude before we color him. Let's just see what happens. Okay, nervous. I'm nervous. Oh, I think that's perfect. Okay, they're all getting smiles. I think that's fantastic. I'm even going to do this guy. Just smile here. What do you think? I think that just made the card. It's so whimsical. And I'm even going to do a little dimple right here on his cheek. Oops. Yep, that's why I did an extra. That little dimple wasn't a dimple. It was a line there. I think that's so fun. Okay, you know, I got the In the Navy out for some reason, and I don't know why. I think I was supposed to do the Merry Christmas in Old Navy. Oh well. But what I do have for the snowmen is I have Ohuhu's markers, and I have CGO2, which is light gray. Now these are the new numbers. I have R16, which is chili red. I have cedar brown, which is E415. And then I have orange, which is YR112. So let's paint some or color some snowmen. Because you know, carrots are orange, so got his nose, and then the brown, there's not much there, but I think his twigs should have a little brown in them. And I'm using the bullet tip on this. If you have the chisel, I think you can turn the chisel on its edge and just kind of dab it and dot it. Oops, this one right here. I'm hoping my head's not getting in the way. I'm leaning over on my desk. And then the gray, taking the brush, I'm just down here at the bottom. Not really shadow, but maybe a little. And okay, let's get this scarf. I love this red, this chili red. This is my favorite red in the Ohuhu. And I did say in my last video, I am working on matching the Ohuhu colors to Gina's inks. I have the greens and the blues done. I just need to find a little time to get the rest of them done. Sorry, I stopped talking. I'm trying not to like wobble and have this red go screaming over this guy's face. I think that would just frighten children. And that's not the point. And when I'm coloring with the Ohuhu, you can see it's I like to use a piece of cardstock. I don't want to stain my glass, even though I'm pretty sure alcohol will take it off. But let's go ahead. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I'm still going through those. And I'm going to move you in just a smidge closer so you can see where I put them all. And flip these guys over. And I'm going to get these little snowballs out. I'm going to turn these snowballs over. There's 3 for each of the guys. Oops. It's not over. Oh, I have extras. Cool. And for the snowman, I'm using the larger dimensionals. Just trying to get some support for this guy. And I'm actually going to go and cut some slivers I want to put on his hands. So I've got this. Let's go ahead and get a couple slivers here. And then I'm going to cut the slivers in half. This is the fun part. Okay, I'm going to grab tweezers. There. I'll come back for you in a minute, dude. And sometimes it just helps to have the tweezers because, you know, even though my fingers are a little on the smaller side, sometimes you just need the help from a pair of tweezers. It took me the longest time to figure out, oops, it's on its side, to figure out how to use these. Right now I need 2 sets of tweezers. There. Okay. Probably if I got my pokey tool out, that might work too. Here's this other one. Okay, I'm putting it in the palm of his hands. And we're going to call that done with that. Actually, no, we're not. I need these little guys. These are falling right off. And then I'm going to use the little ones on the back of those snowflakes over there. And I'll put one of these together on camera so you don't have to sit there and watch me fiddle. Just threw my scissors on the floor. But you don't have to sit here and watch me fiddle with putting these little snowflakes and snowman on the front of a card. Because this is the longest part of this whole process. Right here, what I'm doing right now. So make sure I don't step on my scissors. I dropped them on the floor. And we are going to move those off to the side. And we're going to pull the backing off of this guy. And 3 of these little snowflakes, we're going to pull the backing off. Let's get the snowman all lined up. I'm going to try to put him, oops, sorry, put him over partway up, but more towards the right. And then each one of these snowflakes, I'm going to put one, he's throwing one up in the air. He's catching this one over here. And then this one is flying through the air. So I'm going to go ahead and put him out of the way. And let's line this guy up. And I cheat on the sentiments. I go ahead and I've got this grid here, and I line it up on my grid, and I look at my overhead camera, and it helps me determine, is this straight? Is this not straight? There, that's straight. And voila, we are done with this card. I will do the insides of my Christmas cards in the fall. I like to go and find a really nice sentiment, or if Gina comes out with one that just fits my cards, I will stamp or print off a bunch of panels and do that. Thanks for joining me today. Everything that I've used here, I will have links down below if you're interested in shopping. Most of those are affiliate links, although Cardstock, I am not an affiliate, but I love buying from them. They are a local, kind of local, they're about 5-hour drive from me. But it's a family-owned business, and I love supporting family-owned and smaller businesses. It's what I like to do. While you are down there looking at what I use to make these cards, if you would hit that like button, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And then if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am super happy you stopped by. And if you've lasted this long, that makes me doubly super happy. If you would hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content, and then click that notification bell so that you're notified the next time. Again, thanks for stopping by. Oh, look through your stash. Here's a challenge to all of my viewers out there. Find something in your stash that looks serious. Make it whimsical. Just come up with something and make a card that makes somebody smile. And yes, I'm hoping that this will make somebody smile who receives it when I send this out at Christmas time. I'll put a link down below. I have on Facebook a group for posting. So if you rise to the challenge and decide you want to do something whimsical, go ahead, head over to that Facebook group and post your creation. I would really love to see them. Thanks a lot for joining me today. And until next time, happy stamping.